honest, I don't know where this is going to go. So let's see. Are you ready? In your heads, count down from 5. Where is this going to go? Okay. At the start of your business journey, you are everything. You are putting out the trash. You are making the coffee. You are the marketing person. You are the systems person. You are in charge of everything. And it can be really, really overwhelming because you are the CEO. You're leading the business. And sometimes we don't know where to start, what we need until we find it. Searching for all the answers can be so tiresome. And equally, you can come across a solution that you didn't know you needed until you find it, which is a bit like my guests today, but more about them in a minute. But this is exactly why I created my interviews with my go-to experts, so that we can provide those aha moments, those golden nuggets that help you find the solutions that you need. My name is Lindsay Burden, and I'm an intuitive business coach, and I inspire, guide, and motivate ambitious women in business to create wildly successful businesses and a time-rich lifestyle. But enough about me. I cannot wait to introduce you to the fabulous, now I call them girls, they're not girls at all, as you can see, they are full grown women, but let me introduce you to them because honestly, they are totally awesome, and I didn't know how I was coping in my business or life until I met them. So let me introduce you to Debbie Crompton. I knew I was going to say that wrong. I knew, and I even wrote it down. Especially, I went
and I write it down.
Because I call you Debs and Steph, but you are Debbie Crompton and Steph Bonnie, and you are Stebbington. So that is you. And it won't take people very long to find out. I love you both so much. But before we get started, I needed to tell people a little bit more about you. And I always ask my guests to write something down for me. So Debbie and Steph have been best buddies for over 15 years, from their time working in corporate to their biggest adventure yet, which is Stebbington Limited. They just want to make the world dance and get people's work-life balance evened out. Now, Stebbington are the nerds you need. I love this. Absolutely love this. It's why I'm reading it. Whether you have an admin system in place and need help with process improvement to really utilize what you already have, or you need upgrading from spreadsheets to a proper CRM, if only I could get my words out today, they will take the headache away from you, leaving you time to do what you do best. Welcome, ladies. How are we today?
Great.
Always awesome.
I loved your intro, by the way. The intuitive. You are inspirational, Lindsay. You are.
Thank you. Thank you. But enough about me. I really think we need to touch on this story because before we started recording, I asked about how close you live. So you are best buddies. You live 4,000 steps from one another.
That is good.
You are business partners. You are pretty much in each other's lives. How does that work?
Wow, with a lot of fun and laughter. Yeah.
I mean, how did that all come about?
Well, let's take you on a journey.
Please
from
do.
15 years past. So we worked together in an old corporate jobby. And I was really shy, and I used to hide in the corner. And Steph was like this really cool lady who everyone loved. Everyone loved her. And I
wasn't cool, just loud. I wasn't cool.
You
I was just loud. People knew when I arrived in the office. That was it.
And then basically, I was always like, I wish she'd be my friend. And then she was my friend.
Oh. Love that. We
went to like a Christmas thing, and then we went together, and we just had the best time, and then just discovered that we were kind of like each other. We were each other were looking for in a friend way, and
yeah, the whole life partner way that men just can't fulfill. Yeah.
They try, but they can't. And we've always had the same kind of work-wise. We were always very much on the same page about process improvements and systems and stuff like that. And we were always we're very similar in that way. And then we were very similar in real life.
Same brain.
Steph left me. She travelled across the world and got married and had kids and stuff, which is rude.
Very rude.
Very rude of her.
Yeah, very. But come on, you appreciate my offspring. Like she's pretty. Like she's a mini version of me. And slightly crazier.
Could that be possible?
Love it. Yep.
Well, I have to say that I am super grateful because I have you in my business. And I was introduced to you, and I think the words were, you'll just love them. And I really do love you. You're just so that you just bring a whole new energy to my business and, to my LinkedIn profile and to my LinkedIn feed. It's just awesome to have you and to be around you. But on a more serious note, you're also bloody good at what you do, which is kind of why we are here today. Now, I always ask my guests to give me a title for our little conversation, and yours is automating your way to more time. Is it true? Do we really need more automation? And what even does automation mean? And I think let's go there first. What is automation? What can we automate? And does it really change our lives? Deb,
did you want to say? I'll take
tumbleweed.
I'll take this one.
Remember, you're the brains. I thought we'd agreed this.
So automation can be something so we've all got laptops, they're all electronic, they all do lots of different things, but we're probably not utilizing a lot of the stuff that you can do on it. So automation fundamentally just means making your laptop do the work so you don't have to. And you can automate things like reminders for you to follow up with a client, or you can have automated emails that go out using a system like MailerLite or something, so you don't have to write you've the copy, but you don't have to think about where it's going. It'll work it out for you. Automation really can save you so much time. Think about all those times you've written an email out and then you sent it to someone and then they sent an email back and then you send it on and on and on. It goes on forever. You can get something to automate so it sends it all out with your voice and sends it out to the client, so you don't have to do any of that. And it really does save you time. And you can automate pretty much anything. The world is your oyster.
Except housework, just to clarify, because we get that one a lot.
Can't do that.
Cannot automate housework.
Okay,
that doesn't. I know. But yeah.
One day.
One day. But yeah, there's so much. Like even raising invoices, adding in people into your accounting software, your CRM, your to-do list. So if you're doing a project management, a lot of projects, they might be different, but there'll be specific things that are always the same. So we can automate it so that when a new client comes on board, that project is automatically created with those tasks. There's endless. Look at Calendly or TidyCal. We love TidyCal. That's a great little bit of automation. Instead of going back and forth in emails with dates, here's my link. It's automatically hooked up to that's more integration, but it's the same principle.
It's the same principle. And email ping pong is my least favorite sport. It's not fun, not fun at all. Now,
I was just picturing actual emails being ping pong.
It's just a nightmare. I hate it. It's so bad. I get something to sort out, like a little link so people can get to your diary. That is life-changing.
Yeah, and it's also even with the automated emails, like when onboarding clients, it's about saving time, but also for your customer service. You then can deliver a better service to your customers because you're giving them proactive information, and anyone in customer service knows, proactive is way better than reactive. Yeah. So if you're proactively saying, hi, welcome on board, this is now what happens, then they know where they are. You're not getting bombarded with emails and going, what's happening next? There's so much, and also because you're not spending all that time doing those little admin bits that take a couple of minutes but add up, you do then focus on your clients even more.
Yeah.
So
it's so true. And you've given there some insights into some of the benefits of automation, not least creating time so you can spend more time in your businesses doing the things you love, but also improving your customer service, which improves retention and your bottom line. What's not love? Ta-da! Now, one of the things you wrote down here, because I always ask everyone, what are the key points that you want to get across? And you've mentioned process mapping and why that is important for any business. And you've kind of alluded to that already, but what is process mapping? What does that mean? Well, that sounds like I need an automation for my process mapping.
Even orientation.
So process mapping basically is mapping your process. So, for instance, a lot of us have certain things for an onboarding a client, or offboarding a client, or just doing the work. So mapping your processes is just putting it down on paper about what steps are taken between each part of the process, from your first call from your client to your final invoice and a see you later email, and looking at all of that and working out what systems you might use for those different tools. And then once you've got that down on paper, you find ways that you might be duplicating things, so you can take that off straight away. Or you might think, oh, actually, I could get something integrated or automated to do that for me to save you more time. There's a really, really crazy statistic that a lot of businesses don't map anything, like small businesses. So they don't map their process, they don't have any documentation. And then that's great. But when you grow and you start to think about getting somebody else in, you then have to get all of that out of your head. And if you're at the point of getting somebody else in, that's because you're busy. So the last thing you then want to be doing is taking all that time out to do that. So mapping your process and looking at it every few months and just seeing ways you can improve on each of those processes, it's fundamentally just a good thing to have in your business.
That also, I think, really helps you think about your business of the future, because what I see is business owners find that $37 solution and they work on this tiny bit without looking at the bigger picture, and when they put that in place, then that bit falls over, and now that bit doesn't work. So what you're saying is, by mapping the business as a whole, it can help you to look at a better solution.
I like that. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat. But yeah, no, like that. So doing the full map from when someone first, that's fine, and then taking off those little bits and kind of then doing more specific mapping into that if it's needed. Sometimes it's just, no, actually it's never happened. I've never seen a process map being built and not improvements have not come from it. Like, no one's ever done a process and then gone, well, that works, that's brilliant, and walk away. There's always ways to improve. Even like us today, you know, this is what we do. Our day-to-day is a Stebbington review day, which includes internal processes where we go through what we've got in place, what can we improve, because everything, your business is like life, isn't it? It's always evolving. There's always more. There's always different. You might have had a plan to go one way, and then because of something else, you've kind of done a little bit of a turn. Well, then you need to change the way you're working to suit that, and the way that you're delivering and speaking with your clients. Yeah,
it's so
never
true.
ending.
We are constantly evolving, and that's why we must always be looking at our processes. And I think one of the things that happened for me at the beginning of the year, I decided to look at my my accounting system, just really getting my head in there. And what I noticed was the amount of subscriptions I had for this, that, and the other, which is kind of where I got to you, because I went, well, this is just nuts. I must be able to do this differently, better, and more efficiently. There must be a way of doing it. And actually, by working with you, I save myself money. Processes save you money.
Boom!
I do.
And time in the long run.
Yeah.
And again, goes back to customer retention, because then it's standardized, which means every client, whether it's client 1 or 100, is dealt with in the same way. And that, I think, is important as well, because that's where you get the mixed reviews. You know, when you look at people's reviews and they have like, some people are like 5-star, oh my God, you're amazing. And then other people, they're like, oh, this is, and I'm like, yeah, because you haven't standardized your processes. So one client might have got all the proactive, but you might have been busy with the other one and didn't. So yeah,
It's so
retention, saving time.
Retention's so important, isn't it? You know, they say it's easier to sell to a present client or to upsell to a present client, and it costs you less than bringing in a new client.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of businesses as well, especially small businesses, like we like working with the same kind of people. You know, like if it's, I mean, I know there's some, you don't need to keep getting a new logo every month. So yeah, there's somewhere it's like come out, but like for us as well, we like working with those, building that relationship, really understanding each other, because then you can also help each other in other ways, referrals, you know, connections and all of that. And I love building that community, I think, of small businesses. It's nice. Got the old fuzzy feeling.
Because, and I had a question in my head and now it's gone, but I'm sure it'll come back. Because I was thinking about that community, and I love that, because that's what I'm all about, is creating communities and, you know, being able to refer and recommend, and that comes from receiving really good customer service, which comes from processes. And by saying all of that, I've remembered my question. So when we think about processes and mapping of our processes and streamlining and automating, it's easy to go, well, that's really important for somebody who has got teams, members of staff, people doing the work. I think often when for solopreneurs, we go, well, we don't need any processes and systems because we're doing it all. And that's not the case at all, is it?
In fact, no, they need it just as much. Because if they want to continue their business and if they want to grow the business in the future, like we're always saying, if you're looking to scale, then start doing it. But no, from the word go, have a process. You can change the process 100 times. It doesn't matter. But yet, for solo people, it's probably just, if not more important, because you haven't got a team of people. Like you said in the intro, how many different hats do we have to wear?
A lot.
Yeah. A lot.
And I must stop.
Two of us, so I only have half the amount you have.
And I must stop saying in my intro, putting the trash out. That's so American. What's that about?
We've all got to put the trash out at some point. You know what I mean?
No, don't we call it rubbish? But anyway, I digress. Okay, so process mapping is how we streamline our businesses, help our businesses to work more efficiently and effectively, help to ensure that we manage our clients and that relationship creates time, improves our bottom line. So lots of great reasons to get your pen and paper out and to do a map of your process. But one of the other things you wrote here was how integrating and automating your systems can mean they do the work for you. And I think sometimes we can get in our head, particularly again, solopreneurs or owners of smaller businesses, we think, oh, it's going to take so much time to sort this out and I don't know how it works. And the other challenge, and I know it was a challenge for me and I see it in others, we're like, there's so much out there, we don't know where to start. And I know it's, you know, I often say to some of my clients, if you're going to try something new, try it for 3 to 6 months and really test it out. And I think we're all really good at going, I've done that for a few days and it was rubbish. Or I tried that and it was just too complicated.
Tried it once, didn't like it, done.
Yeah. And that doesn't work either. But from a systems viewpoint, there's so much out there.
Yeah. And doing that and trialing a system for 3 to 6 months and then changing again, that's quite a lot as well, a lot of work.
The key is to get it right first time, really. The other which I'll go into in a second, but the other thing is it's change management. It's like your behavior. If you're going to start something new, you have to go into it all with both feet. You can't kind of half go in because you won't try. How many of us have started to do stuff and you don't really give it your all because you're just like, I'm not very good at this. I don't really know what I'm doing. Yeah. And then you just end up being a subscription collector, which just collects all the subscriptions.
I love life lessons by Debbie Crompton. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's looking. We have a criteria list kind of thing where there's a lot of things you need to think about when you're looking for a system. So, you know, some people are more visual than others. So they're all fundamentally the same. All CRMs, all kind of systems, they all do the same thing. They just got different names. And some of them have different features. So it's finding out what's important to you. And by having that process map and having, you know, your business. Oh, God, sorry. I lost an earphone. Having a process map, having everything written down about what you use for different things and knowing what you want in the future. So visual people might want to use something like Trello as a board kind of view, but other people might want to use Airtable because they use the spreadsheets and that's quite like looking like a spreadsheet, all the way to how many people do you want on that system. There's so many things you need to think about. So it is a matter of getting that list and working out what you want. So you try and hit it right first time. But a lot of it is your frame of mind of being like, I'm going to give this a go and I'm going to try properly. Yeah.
And I think with that as well, I
was just going to say, I had to really resist the urge of grabbing a pen and writing down Airtable.
Yeah.
Love it.
We can tell you about Airtable.
Oh, Airtable. We could do a whole podcast just on Airtable. One of Stebbington's, like, we're going to get a stamp. So we've got the goal in mind. When we reach this particular milestone, we're going to get a Stebbington approved stamp. So we can just go around stamping things, people included. You just might get like a Stebbington approved stamp on your forehead. It'd be amazing. I did actually have a really, well, I was thinking a valid point after Deb's, but
It'll come back.
it probably
It will
won't,
come back.
Lindsay, it won't. That's it, gone.
That's my fault for interrupting. Well, I just like to mention, actually, talking about the Stebbington stamp of approval.
Stebbington approved.
I have seen you do that in a video. I can't remember what you were approving, but you were giving something the stamp of approval. It was one of your lovely videos, or I don't know if I've seen you do it again. It was your news report.
Oh, do you love our
So
newsletter?
good. I don't think I've seen one since. It was so good. I showed my
Oh.
husband. He watched the whole thing, and he's nothing to do with my business or in business. He watched the whole thing and laughed through the whole thing, as I did. Everyone needs that
Yeah,
in their
see,
life.
that's the whole point of us, because we would, you know, you build your list and newsletters are great, but because of the way we are, we're like, let's just do a news video. And then obviously it became a news report, and it's just fun. But that's the whole point. Like, when my daughter finds them funny, she even gave us a like to one of the videos. And that's, you know,
Yeah, that's
like the biggest thing ever, biggest compliment.
You've
But
peaked.
yeah, I may as well retire now. We're done. But yeah, we do love doing those. It's so much fun, aren't they? And we do have little nuggets of information in there. But
You
to
do.
be fair, we just embellish. Just
The fun.
But isn't that what we all need in our businesses? We need more people like you that can make the things that seem really boring fun.
like process mapping.
Well, this
People
is the
normally
thing
glaze
as well.
over when you speak about it. You're literally like, and they're gone.
Oh,
Okay.
I like a process map. I've done lots more since I've had you in my life. There was something that I was going to swing back to, and I knew this would happen with us three today because we bounce all over the place. And we're really good at that. I just wanted to share, I've remembered what it was. I just wanted to share a really, really great tip with people, and I'm sure you will advocate for it. If you were going to try something, or you were talking about that, and Debs, you said, you know, you have to be all in. You can't half-ass these things. If you're going to try a new CRM system, for instance, you have to really commit to doing it. So my top tip for anyone would be, if you're going to have a CRM system, open it every day and have it open. It's been life-changing. Who knew? Yes.
Who knew? Using the system that you implemented.
Who knew it would be so easy if you had it on? Now, I've gone back and forth with CRM systems, and then I've gone, oh, I can't be bothered. I don't need them. They're too complicated. I had one, I just spent so much time in it. It was unbelievable. But when I have my new one, which I don't think I've shared with you yet, that's a whole different conversation. When I have it, it's open, it's there, which means I'm in it when I want to add someone in there. I'm doing it all the time. It makes it easier, makes it something that I do as part of my day-to-day work, as opposed to something I've got to do or I've got to catch up on. It also means when I go in there and go, I'd really like to be able to do that, I can really quickly find out how to do that, and then it's there. So that has been life-changing. So my top tip.
That's a great tip. And I've just remembered what I was going to say on the back of the other thing was the trials. So we're saying, you know, like that, you don't want to do it, but with the trials, don't trial them for 3 to 6 months, known ones. But when you're searching for it, you can use our free criteria list, CRM criteria list, which will help you define exactly what you're looking for, like Debbie said. But also then you can get kind of, if you want to have a little look and just check, and we do it, create a demo account. You can then quickly log on. You can spend 10-15 minutes on it, man. You'll be able to find, because if you have your list, you know what you're looking for. You can go in, have a quick demo. Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do that? And then you'll find out yes or no quite quickly on, yeah, you know what? Move away from that one and then do it. And then you can do well, I normally do like a short list. So you look at kind of 3 or 4 and then shortlist from there, and then you'll find, and then that's how you find the one from that.
I have got a quicker way of finding the one.
Just ask us.
Call Stebbington.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure if that was this kind of podcast, but yeah, guys, if you're not sure, just give us a ring, because this is what we do.
We won't pick up because we don't answer calls, but email us and we might reply.
That's the key thing, is that there's a CRM for everyone, and just because someone might be using one CRM doesn't mean that it's going to be right for you. So yeah,
We do, because
Bring it out.
we see that quite a lot when you're like, oh, but so and so's got it, and they rave about it, and you're going, but they're doing a complete, their model is completely different to your business. So it's not, and not only that, they're a completely different brain. It's not the same. And there is a lot of that. Oh, well, I use this and it's great for mine, so you should use that. And you're going, but yeah, but that's not what they need, is it? And it is. And even in the state within the same industry, you know, we've had very similar people, technically would probably be competition, completely different ways of doing their business. So completely different software was needed. So yeah, it's not a, don't get the magpie syndrome thing, or, you know, keeping up with the Joneses. There's none of that crap in this world.
No, and don't waste your time trying to find something when actually, if it's quicker to have a 10-minute conversation with someone and then point you in the right direction. Because you, I mean, you are in all these systems day in, day out. So really the rest of us don't need to be. Thank goodness.
So again, email us at admin@stebbington.com. We might respond. Yeah, no, well, you know us, Lindsay, we're always happy to share, because it's that whole empowering as well, isn't it? And saying, you know, we will always help, we will always enjoy helping, but some people like to do it themselves for whatever reasons. Here's the tools, and then they normally come back about a month later and say,
now can you help me?
Help us?
Yeah, I tried it, I don't want to do this anymore.
I did think that when I opened up this new CRM system, I was like, do I really want to be in here, or is there somebody I know that can do it? I thought, well, I'll get it started and give it a go. But I think you'd be in it. I'll show you one day. Okay, so we've talked about process mapping and the importance. Have we covered off the integrating and automating your systems and helping them work for you? Do you think we've covered that off so people are starting to get the gist of it?
No, I think we need to go.
Well, I have one thing. I feel like, well, so integrations basically where you make all your systems talk to each other. Now, we were just talking about CRMs and having it open in the day. Now, a great way of integrating would be some systems you can get your emails to go straight into a CRM. So therefore, you've already cut down the chance of having to look in your email and in your CRM. Or if you had somebody paid you wouldn't have to go and look in your bank, because it would already tell you in your CRM. Integration is a great way of having your CRM or whatever you're using, Google spreadsheet or anything, it all talking to one place, so you've got one source of truth. Because how many times when we've got lots of different things opening and you're copying and pasting and duplicating, something will invariably go wrong. Then you create a new spreadsheet or you create a new so integration is a fab way of just having one place, so you making everything talk to each other. Some CRMs have in-house integration, so they're like, well, we can already connect with this, but sometimes you need a little bit of help using our good friend Zapier, or anything of other brands are available. And so but yeah, you can use it, so then it makes it talk to each other. There's so many ways around it. So if you find yourself in this system and that system, just ask yourself, is there a way I can put these two together? And then look at something like Zapier, or look online, or speak to us.
Yeah, I mean,
we've yet to find one that haven't been able to.
No, there's always a way. There's always a solution. It just might not be obvious to start with, but there is. Yeah, I think that's huge. And like Deb said, because just reiterating her point, really, I don't know if this is needed, but just to reiterate, because copying and pasting shouldn't have to happen in 2023. We have enough automation in this world. We do not need to copy something onto a CRM, onto accounting software, onto the MailerLite or MailChimp or whatever. This shouldn't need to happen. So like Deb said, with the one source of truth, you don't have to go into those other systems, but they're doing what they do best. Because I think that comes up quite a lot as well. It's like, oh, I want this system that does everything. But I don't know.
And the housework.
Yes, please. But
one day.
I think for smaller businesses especially, with the smaller systems, they're really good at what they do. And that's that. So why not, instead of, and I've had it before as well, we've had clients who are like, oh, I don't want too many systems. I'm like, well, we understand that, but if you're only looking at one system, does it matter where the other systems are, as long as they're doing what they're doing and you're still saving your time? So don't get hung up on the all-in-one solutions, because they
never are.
They're not quite as great, you know. So like, use your MailerLite, because that is specifically designed to do what it does. Your CRM, because that's, you know, BBP accounts, you know, when they have some they like have an invoicing thing kind of added on, an invoice module, but it won't do your accounts the same way accounting software will. It won't necessarily have the chart of accounts and all of that. So it is, I think that's something to note. Don't get hung up on the amount of systems, just make sure you're utilizing the ones that you're using.
Right.
I was just writing that down because I think you some really good points. I mean, I want to put in the description under the video, because that one source of truth, I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm going to go back to my CRM system and go, right, now I got my head around that, I need to speak to Stebbington, because I need to find out if there is anything we can do to integrate MailerLite, which you've moved me on to, which, you know, that saved me hours of time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, MailerLite is powerful.
I'm loving MailerLite, and I really didn't at the beginning. I was like, I don't know how to do anything.
And now you know everything.
Not quite, is where I have you. I think that's a really important point to make, actually, because often we disregard a piece of software because we can't do it. So I had looked at MailerLite as an alternative, and because I was another platform through and through and had been for 15 odd years, I looked at it and I was like, I don't know where anything is, I can't do it, I can't find it. And I just got really frustrated and went, I'm not going to bother, I'm going to stay with what I got. But the reasoning behind wanting to change was really solid. So it was at that point I go, do you know what, I just need somebody else to set this up for me, and then you can get in and use it. And that's a really important point, I think, to make, is that, you know, if you go into something and you can't see how to make it work, that doesn't mean to say it's not the right thing for you.
Yeah.
No.
So please do, you know, go and ask Stebbington.
I feel like this is just a Stebbington plug.
I'm sure there are other companies available. But
I think we have a couple of competitors.
Not like us.
No one
Not
else
like us,
is
though.
I don't call this playlist, you know, conversations with my go-to experts for nothing. They really are my go-to experts. So that one source of truth really rang true for me. And the other thing you said there was about, don't get hung up on having one place, or don't get, you know, concerned about having more than one place, you know, for the different types of software that you're using or different ways of working. And I think that's another thing that's really worth mentioning, because in my head at one point I was going, well, I just need to have everything in one place because it'll be really easy. Then I kind of, you know, do what we do, went off searching, and then someone said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Then I was back to like, now what do I need? And this was a few years ago now, but you can kind of go rounds and rounds in circles. So again, I really like what you're saying, you know, if you've got pieces that work, see if there's a way of getting it to work.
Yeah, just bring them together. Yeah, it's like we use the analogy of a body parts. A potential client came to us, yeah, and they had the right parts, but because they were all segmented, and that's where the integration comes into play. And then once you have integration, you have automation, because then you get your one source of truth done. And like that, all we have to do for him is bring it all together to create the actual body. And he's good. He's so close.
That client's name is Dr. Frankenstein, by the way. Just proof.
Don't know why. Normally I do building analogies, but
I know.
I'm on body parts this week. What can I say?
Like,
why not? I love a good analogy. Now, before I bring this to a close, not that I've been looking at the time, and I really should have been, because I know I could talk to you two forever, and we always have so much fun when we come together. But one of the questions I ask my go-to experts that come to talk to me is, if you had to start your business again, you know, what would you do differently? And you wrote down knowing your worth from the start when it comes to pricing your jobs. And I don't think you'll be alone with that one.
No. And I actually, funny enough, read something yesterday that said about the pay gap between sexes is still quite big, even in the freelancer, which I guess we come under gold. And I think it's because of that. It's like, why?
Yeah, and I think particularly women underprice themselves.
And
women in tech, it's we're as a woman in a tech industry, it is quite difficult. And because we're really happy, and sometimes tech people aren't that happy.
People never enjoy that.
I love the fact that anyone watching this, you know, because you've got these backgrounds, whenever you laugh, Steph, and your head goes down, you completely disappear. It's like you've gone, whoop, and she was gone, and she's back again.
Oh,
back
you
in
can
the
still hear
room.
me. If I move my arm
I can
right,
still
you
hear
might
her.
even see a little Debbie face, because I've got my little Debbie teddy behind me.
And
Who
that's just-
doesn't need a Debbie teddy?
who doesn't? But now that's beginning to sound really, really strange. You two, I truly believe you are absolutely incredible. And I think what I love about you the most is you are just being yourselves. You are just showing up, doing your thing, and you're incredible at what you do. You really do have your clients at the heart of what you do, and you're really, really generous with your time and helping others, and you're a great networker. You're really into networking and connecting people. And for me, you really do shine a light and show people that,
Lindsay.
well, whoever you are inside, you know, if you're a little bit nuts crazy, be nuts crazy, because you will find your people. And if you need to, you know, for you, you need to be a little bit more serious. Just do you, because you will absolutely find your tribe. And you really do show up. What people have seen today is exactly what they would get 24 hours a day. I don't think I've ever seen you not laughing, not joking, and not just being yourselves. And for me, that's such an important message, whether you're just starting out on your entrepreneurial journey or whether you're several years in and you're finding you're losing your way. Just come back to your truth and who you are and just show up as yourselves.
Yeah.
You will find your people.
Yeah. And I think that life's too short not to enjoy it, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
yes.
Yeah, it's way too, like, we love what we do. So that's why we laugh so much. We like literally love it. Like, we wake up and we send each other voice notes like, you love what we do? You got me too, mate. And it's like, yeah, we're still saying it.
And that should be the way it is, day in.
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing your joy and your energy to this call. I hope that everyone who has watched has enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed it. There is something really important. Now, we have laughed and joked throughout, going, call Stebbington. There you go, call Stebbington. And you are my go-to experts. So if somebody needs you two in their lives, and more importantly, in their business, or maybe the other way around, I don't know. But if they need help with systems, processes, if they want to get in touch, if they know they're already, you know, recognizing that their business is feeling clunky, which is a phrase that, you know, if your business is starting to feel clunky, where is it feeling clunky? Who can help? You are the people to go to, the women. So where can people find you? What's the best place?
Crawley.
You'll hear us before you see us.
Yeah, you're passing Crawley, listen out and you will hear Stebbington. It's like that cry from the pizza advert, isn't it? You know, it's the Stebbington cry. Hear it, follow it, and the answers are
no, okay, but if you're not in the area. Goodness this.
So we've got obviously our LinkedIn profile. We've got personal ones and our business one, and where you'll find us on Facebook, and you'll find us on YouTube, where we have a list of all of our Did You Know videos. So if you're a bit unsure how to do something, have a little look on our Did You Know page, and there'll probably be a video about it. And
also, can we just ask, if you do go to our YouTube, please do also like and subscribe. We would very much
like, share, and subscribe.
So what we want you to do is like and subscribe to my channel. Then I need you to run on over to Stebbington, and I need you to like and comment on there.
Yeah, I love it. Every Thursday there's a new video that comes out with one of us crazy cats doing something. But there was another way. Sorry, Debs, was there another way that you can get hold of us?
What about, do you have a website perhaps?
Oh, yes.
www.stebbington.com.
She did that like a true news reporter.
I know.
Out of interest, are you on Instagram as well?
No.
Oh.
No.
That would be why you didn't mention it.
Thanks for showing that up. No, we are on TikTok though. And we do have a good old-fashioned email address. Yeah. I don't know if we actually said that at the start.
No, but are you admin at stebbington.com?
Well,
That's
listen,
us.
we actually, yeah, well, we do. That's the one if you don't have a preference, or we now have our own. So we
I
now have
saw that.
Debbie at Stebbington and Steph at Stebbington.
I know. I do like admin because I think I'm getting you both. Who will reply? It's like a lottery.
Yeah.
Who will reply?
It is that, isn't it? It's like we just don't know, but we do that like that. That's also just to make sure. So if one of us isn't around, we're always covered. Yeah,
Good little thing to do. I did have
all
another
about customer
question
service.
actually earlier on. And I'm still going to answer it, even though I've kind of feel like I've brought this to a close, but I need to ask this question. I've never done this before. Almost bring it to a close and then ask a question. I want to know,
Bonus.
so there's the two of you in the business. Do you both do the same things? Do you do different things? Do you, one of you have a specialty or a zone of genius or something you like doing more?
Debbie's really good at making tea. She once gave me a
Excellent.
lesson on
So
this.
if you're passing
When we
Crawley
first
and you need
met,
a cup of tea-
one of the lessons, one of the ways I got to be her friend was I had to learn how to make a good cup of tea to Debbie's standards, and they are very high, I'll have you know.
Okay. Didn't expect that one.
In real life, I kind of focus more on the Microsoft side, so Excel spreadsheets and things like that. Steph's a lot better with the automation sort of technical side of it. But we try and both go to each other's strengths. So one client might be more on this and more on that. And then with our future training and stuff, we kind of take a subject and then each. So then there's always someone so we can cover more ground and help more people.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like there's a lot of things we can both do, but then we work to our strength. Why wouldn't you? There's two of us.
I know. I feel like I need two of me. I'm not sure the world's ready for two of me.
I'm just delighted.
Right then, ladies, you have been absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see if anyone actually comments under this video because I just think that will be hysterical. It has been such fun to talk to you, as I knew it would be. You are, and I genuinely mean this, you're an incredible team. So if anyone is struggling with anything that is automation, that is integration, they just don't know how to make things talk to each other, they just need a bit of Debs and Steph in their life. Go to Crawley. No. Visit the website. Take a look.
Don't do that.
TikTok, LinkedIn. You'll find them, and I will put those links below, so you don't have to go searching for them. I'll make it really easy. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining me. It has been an absolute blast.
Thank you so much for having us. So we love chatting to you. You know that. Do it all day long.
We're glad we've got you in our lives now. We like it.
Because you are awesome.
It's true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think of.
I just got the stamp of approval. Thank you, ladies. You've been incredible.